magician, the lover in you. Every single day, we are called to walk in our purpose. Answer the call. Lay down your burden and anything that holds you back and take your rightful place. The battle is everywhere. It's right in your face. Let's go.
Family, I am here with a magical moment of young musicians. And this is Kim, Sister Kim, and she has a message about investing into the future musicians of our community. Sister Kim, tell us what you got here.
Hi everyone, Kim, proud parent of children at the Big Apple Leadership Academy for the Arts. We teach HBCU high-stepping marching band to our kids from age 5 and up. It is a free after-school program, tuitionless, and it's open to all. Our kids are amazing. If you can, jump on our website. We're looking for support, donations. Our kids need new instruments so that they can high step on. Our website is www.balaa.org, BALAA.org. And I appreciate the time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And so family, listen up close. We're talking about investing in the artists of tomorrow. By investing in them, if you have a little expendable change to invest in the youth, the genius, this is the opportunity. And in this description on this video will be the details of sending your donation to PayPal or Zelle or Cash App.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So thank you for your support. Our children are the future.
Welcome to Magnets, Crystals, and Pyramids. Success is your destiny. Yes. Love, wisdom, power. Remember, always who you are. Yes. Yes. I am love, wisdom, power. Yes. Yes. I am love, yes, power. Yes. I am love, wisdom. Yes. I am love, wisdom, power. Yes. Yes. I am wisdom, power. Master. Yes. I am. Yes. Love, wisdom, power. Yes. I am. Say yes. To yourself. Yes. I am. Yes. Yes. I am. Master. I am. Yes.
Make some smoothies and everything.
All right, so I'll be coming up on my 1-year anniversary. Since being on Moorish Monday. First Monday, about 3 weeks. My first appearance was on the first Monday in December of last year. So I have Brother Keng El Bey has been with me. This is about 6, 7, 8 times. All right. Today's topic is the rule of law and how to run government. The rule of law and how to run government. We have the Moroccan Post School of Government and International Law have free recorded courses and classes and seminars on the Moroccan Post Media YouTube page. The Moorish Investigative Research Committee. There's 7 educational sessions on the Moroccan Post Media YouTube page. Also, for my books, go to mooresandmasonry.org. That's for Moors and Masonry Part 1, Moors and Masonry Part 2, How Her Venus and Moon Rule, Etymology and Vocabulary, etymology, vocabulary, supplementary 1, the Masonic compass square, the connection and measurement of timekeeping, and the Illuminati and the illumination of the mind. Go to mooresandmasonry.org. So we're going to, without further ado, we're going to bring our special guest, Brother Keng El Bey. Peace, brother.
Peace, peace.
I'm excited about today's topic.
Yes, yes. We're going to kill some misconceptions with understanding these principles, understanding how the rule of law works. And these principles are the fabric or the DNA of the legal system. Without these principles, you don't know what you have. You won't understand the concepts, the philosophy, the law, the legal framework. You won't know what to do. You can't write a constitution. You can't do any. Your court system would be without any principles. It would be without any structure. So when we talk about the rule of law, there's typically five elements. I know it's accessibility, fair and equal treatment. Could you help me out, Abdullah?
Legal certainty, no abuse of power.
No abuse, right?
Yeah, no abuse of equality before the law.
Equality, right?
No arbitrariness.
No arbitrariness. Those are the principles. So when you think about due process, the rule of law is what gives due process, right? It's birth. It's so the rule of law is incorporated into the Constitution as it relates to constitutional law. And what we don't understand is the United States is a two-tier system. It's a common law system and a civil law system. So it's a mixed legal system. So we need to understand that the courts are nothing but components of the legal system. It's not.
And we're going to make it very clear. Hold on, let me stop you, King. We're going to make it very clear that we're not just going to talk about the United States Constitution. That's though you mentioned that now. All right. So we don't, don't you because you said United States Constitution. So we want to make it very clear that we're talking universal. All right. So when we're talking Constitution, he's talking throughout the world. All right. You have some that the rule of law does not have a set definition, and so we gave set principles. All right, but so where he's talking about the Italian Constitution, so forth, and but so we just want to make sure that we're not going to be just limiting the conversation to the United States Constitution.
Right.
All right.
So what you got to understand that each legal system have a set of principles, and the rule of law is incorporated into the five major systems. So you got common law, civil law, you got mixed law or a mixed legal system. Then you have the religious legal system, and then you have a customary legal system. And the rule of law sits at the head of each of one of these legal systems. So the rule of law and the principles associated with each legal system it's the DNA which creates the legal system in its entirety. Without this rule of law and these principles, application of law, source of law, application, source,
Finding of facts,
findings of facts,
conclusion of law,
and then we have
operation of law.
So these are things that when you talk about the legal principles, you need to know this. And this will help you be able to look at a case and break it down. Without these legal principles, you can't even draft a constitution. You cannot draft the Constitution without these principles. The principles, you can go to China, you can go to France, you can go to Germany, you can go to Italy. You can go to the United States. You can go to Russia. This legal systems is universal, and it's the fabric of all the legal systems that you need to understand. So this is a universal rule, and it was birthed out of equity, the history of equity. So when we talk about the legal systems and we talk about how we need to run government, we need to understand these things are very crucial to our own development. So this is the stuff that you need to do. If you're going to even look at international law and treaties, the rule of law is embedded in these concepts. You cannot get there without understanding these principles. Without these principles, if you don't know these principles, then you're going to be stuck. You're not going to be able to examine a legal case. You're not going to be able to draft a constitution. You won't have no departments or agencies or any other government structure necessary to run government. You have to have this knowledge. If Moors want to come back into the fold of government, they must understand this. So these are the steps necessary to start unraveling all these mysteries, and we're going to kill these misconceptions based on understanding these principles. So why is it very important to understand these principles like application of law? Post-millennium is an international application, right? You cannot if you don't know the application and the elements for such application, you're going to miss your target. If you don't know recovery of lost sovereignty and the elements necessary to hit the mark, you're going to miss your target because these are principles. They're within the legal system. So in order to get a application of law, right? Because everything is done under an application. What do you mean, Keng El Bey? So if I talk about due process is an application of law, and I must know the elements of due process. That's the application that's being used. Even if I talk about child support, if I say child support in the best interest of the child standard, that's an application. So you must know the elements of that application to be able to win your case. Without understanding these applications, then you don't know what elements and the principles that govern such application. So now you won't have standing, you won't have no legal standing because it's not rooted in the principles that's universal to what the world is identifying with right now. Until something change or anything miraculous, they come up with a new form of understanding law. This is the universal practice of what every Moor needs to know. And if you don't understand this, then you're not running government. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not running government. You can't run government without this knowledge. You cannot. It's an impossibility. Under what I call the doctrine of impossibility. You cannot do it because you don't understand or meet the grounds or the elements necessary. You don't have the knowledge. So when me and Abdullah came together and we started working together, we started showing each other what each counterpart was lacking in knowledge. And as we merged this information, we started seeing what was necessary for us to move forward with this Moorish movement, right? I brought my understanding of legal principles and how I litigated using these same tactics, right? Understanding these things. And through the Moorish Investigative Committee, I demonstrated with the knowledge of these principles how to examine the case, looking at the substantive language, understand the substantive due process, understand there's a procedural due process, understand there's constitutional due process, right? Procedures are dealing with the rules of the court. Yeah. Civil rules, When we talk about civil rules of procedure, criminal rules of procedure, those are procedural due process that need to be followed. Now let's talk about the substantive language. We're dealing with contracts. Now, did everybody adhere to the contracts and the application of the contract, the terms and conditions? Now, the constitutionality of the case, constitutional due process under the 5th and 14th Amendment, as it requires certain things to take place. Without understanding these principles, you cannot be able to resolve any of those issues dealing with due process at all in its entirety. And if you don't understand the principles, you can't even form government because you're going to need a constitution. So how you going to form a constitution based on what? You don't have the knowledge, right? You don't have the knowledge to even create a constitution. And it's going to be missing the primary elements in order to draft one. So you need to know this because this embeds or in the fabric of every legal agency, any government department, and it's in all scope of forming government. You can't do it without it. It's just an impossibility. So now, as we move forward in putting this strategy together, what do it look like? How do we paint a picture of understanding this? We got to give the people the knowledge. Without the knowledge, we can't do it. So we're promoting this, right? We're telling them, exposing. So what do we have to have? We got to have outreach. A lot of outreach, more outreach. Why we need outreach? So that we can all work together. I can give you this knowledge. And now it's not just Keng El Bey knowing it. Now we're working together. Now we can teach each other, right? And as we make these discoveries, guess what? We can start forming the different components necessary to start resurrecting a government. And start moving towards that goal that Moors want to accomplish and build a government. Not based on fallacies or misconceptions. Well, I got an EIN number and I got a government. No, that's not a government. Well, we formed a government. I got an LLC and we did. No, that's not a government. Well, we formed a religious institution. That's not a government. Because you're still subjugated. You don't got your political voice, right? You're not recognized politically. What do you mean? Got to have a government first. We got to resurrect our mother, which is the empire. We got to know how to resurrect her through these applications. So you can't resurrect her until you know these principles. You can't breathe life in her. You can't resuscitate her. Give her mouth-to-mouth resuscitation and press on her heart. Give her compressions, 30 compressions with 2 breaths, or 30 compressions in 1 breath. We can't resurrect her and breathe life into her because we don't know how to. It's just like somebody trying to give you the Heimlich and they don't know what they're doing. They're hitting you on the back, making you choke even worse. Or you passed out and they don't know how to administer CPR. So right now, people are selling status packets. Hey, get your nationality. No, there's 2 forms of nationality as it relates to the political and the rights of inheritance through consanguinity. You have the political side where you recognize your nationality through allegiance, right, and protection, right? And then you have one under the application of naturalization and nationalized. How you say that, Abdullah? Nationalized.
Nationalization.
Nationalization.
And in this case for us, because we have lost every aspect of Moorish national characteristics. What does that mean? That we've lost the knowledge of our nationality, our festivals, our hairdresses, our ceremonies, our rites, RITE, our rituals, our holidays, our food, dances, clothing, flag, seal. That's uh, philosophy, body of laws. That's those are Moorish characteristics. Hawaii, the native people of Hawaii have been denationalized. We have been denationalized. What is the difference? The extent of our denationalization far exceeds that of the native people of Hawaii. Far exceeds. Let me explain. The United States invaded Hawaii in 1893. Put their mother, the Queen of Hawaii, under house arrest in her own palace. She never signed a surrendering treaty. She didn't sign anything. She didn't sign any treaty, any agreement whereby she agreed that her people would be citizens of the United States. She didn't sign that. So therefore, it's subjugation followed by annexation. So the native people of Hawaii are not citizens of the United States. Abdullah, you don't know what you're saying. You know what you're saying, Abdullah. But the United States said, whoa. United States said what? No. The Queen said what? What the Queen? You said you said the Queen said? No, you didn't hear me, Abdullah. I said United States said. Oh, you said the Queen of Hawaii said? No, United States said. Let me clean my ears out. You said the Queen of Hawaii said what? How is that United States is the determining factor? Are you saying what the United States said? You said United States said that they're citizens of. No, I want to know what the Queen said. I don't want to know what the United States said. Tell me what the Queen of Hawaii said in 1893. Give me the document of the Queen. Yeah, don't give me nothing from the United States. The Queen of Hawaii. You see, this is through understanding. So understanding. The Queen of Hawaii is their mother, not the United States. So their mother said what? The United States is not their mother. United States is their subjugator, not their mother. So they didn't lose every aspect of every quality of Hawaiian national characteristics. Which means, yes, they lost their Hawaiian sovereignty due to their queen through invasion and their queen being placed under house arrest, but they didn't lose the knowledge of their nationality. They didn't lose the knowledge of their land. In fact, they're still on it. They didn't lose the knowledge of their land. They didn't lose the knowledge of their history. They didn't lose the knowledge of their mother, the Queen of Hawaii, their language, their festivals, their rituals, their ceremonies. They didn't lose that. We, Moors classified as Negro, colored, Black, African American, lost every characteristics, every aspect of Moorish national characteristics. So when you're talking about Moorish nationalization, it can only mean that there's no process that makes you a Moor. So what could it mean? Restoring protection. And so Moorish nationalization must be talked about in the context of reversion to recovery of lost sovereignty. You cannot have Moorish nationalization without resuscitating our mother. We must resuscitate our protector. As long as we are being subjugated by a foreign power, i.e. United States being the trustee, United States being the trustee, and the United States is in a trustee position of France, Spain, Netherlands, England / Great Britain. What I mean by that, so let me explain that real quick. Because I said trustee position, and if I don't explain it, it's like as if I'm saying buta buta buta. All right, because I want people to comprehend what I'm saying. The Spanish crown in 1500s, 1600s, 1700s granted land grant to her soldiers and her subjects on our land. They took our land and gave it to, the Spanish crown, took our land through conquest and colonization and redistributed our land on the Spanish conquest and colonization and gave it through land grants to her subjects, soldiers who fought for her, and do subjects, 10,000, 2,000 acres, 500 acres. Those are Spanish land grants. The United States, to this very day, are obligated, because United States is a colonial arm. The United States is obligated to protect the interests of the Spanish land grants. The French, let me continue. So I want another example so they can understand what I mean by trustee. United States is a trustee. In 1803, France ceded the Louisiana territory. The French do French conquest and colonization, took control of our Moorish land and exercised French territorial sovereignty over a vast area of Moorish land. Canada, the Northwest Territory, where you have Michigan, Illinois, Ohio, part of Minnesota, Indiana, and the Louisiana Territory, which now includes Louisiana State, Alabama, Oklahoma State, Nevada, Oklahoma State, and 13 others. That was the French exercising French territorial sovereignty over our Moorish land through French conquest and colonization. The French there's a 7-year war, the 1754 to 1763. You have what's known as the French and Indian War, which is the war between France and Great Britain. France defeated Great Britain. Great Britain defeated France. To end the war, to settle to settle the matter and to settle the end of the war, they negotiated a peace treaty. France ceded all of Canada, the Northwest Territory, and the Louisiana and Great Britain made a deal with Spain to have France cede the Louisiana Territory to Spain through the Treaty of Fontainebleau in 1762. So we moving forward. In 1760 and 1782, in 1782, France and Great Britain, United States negotiating the end of the war in France. The treaty was, that's why I called the Treaty of Paris, because it was negotiated in France in 1782. As part of the agreement to the end of the war, Great Britain agreed to relinquish the Northwest Territory to the United States in 1783 treaty between Great Britain and the United States. That was once in the hands that they got from France. In 1803, France, through the Louisiana Purchase Treaty, France cedes the Louisiana Territory to the states. Article 3 of that treaty is the citizenship clause. The French subjects became citizens of the United States. the French subjects has what? Through French conquest and colonization, the French crown granted French land grants, and letters of patent. Those are personal rights. Those to this very day, from 1803 to this very day, United States has been protecting the personal right interest by obligation of the treaty. So because of the treaties, talk to me, my brothers and sisters. The United States is a trustee because the treaty, is obligations. That's what I mean by United States is a trustee. Colonization is continuing, so United States is obligated to the predecessor occupying sovereigns through treaty. And the Article 4, Section 3 of the United States Constitution that deals with the emission of new states. That issue, Article 4, Section 3, that was not drafted out of thin air. What led to the drafting of Article 4, Section 3 of the United States Constitution is a dispute over the spoils of war that Great Britain relinquished to the United States through Article 2 of the 1783 treaty. There were the six largest states of the 13 made claims to the Northwest Territory. This was a major dispute. So Thomas Jefferson in 1784 attempted to solve the dispute by drafting the 1784 Land Ordinance. That didn't have enough teeth. Then we had the 1785 Land Ordinance. That didn't have enough teeth. Here we come. It's the 1787 Northwest Ordinance. What was offered to those six states who laid claims to the Northwest Territory? Congress, United States and Congress assembled, made an offer that will pay off your war debts if you relinquish your claims to the Northwest Territory. Now, Congress can make good on that because they have the business plan called the Northwest Territory Ordinance of 1787. That's a business plan. So there's the Northwest Ordinance of 1787 was drafted during outside of the Constitutional Convention. There was a smaller committee that met outside the Constitutional Convention, and that was they ironed out. And so they took it was taken to the Constitutional Convention. So now they're looking at the Northwest Ordinance, and they're now drafting from the Northwest Ordinance. They were able to draft Article 4, Section 3. So now that was in the Northwest Ordinance. They had creation of new states. So now so you have what's called the emission of new states. It's in the hands of Congress. So now what they negotiated was Congress made the offer to pay off the states' war debts, all 13 of them. And in turn, the land will be managed in the hands of Congress. That's Article 4, Section 3. So there, from the Northwest Ordinance now to Article 4, Section 3 is drafted. So Congress manages our land. And so new states, then you have what? You have now you have the Louisiana Territory. No, you have 16 years later, the Louisiana Purchase. There's no dispute because Article 4, Section 3 is the article that gives Congress the authority, the power to manage the land and admit new states. This is why I'm saying United States is a trustee. Because though there are new states developed, but they French anywhere, go anywhere. So United States is obligated to protect the subjects of the successor European sovereign power. All right, so I just wanted to be clear on what I mean by United States as a trustee. If I say it like that, King, they're not going to understand. I got to explain it.
They have to know the specifics, how the treaty relates to these different statuses and how the law is operating. The Constitution is in effect due to understanding how the operation of treaty. This is why we're talking about the application of law. It was done through a treaty application in which then rights was conveyed and adopted into the Constitution. And under that article, now you can use that application of law, understanding the findings of facts and the conclusion of law to show how the law was supposed to operate in accordance to treaty. But if you don't understand these things, you don't understand application of law, source of law, findings of facts, conclusion of law, rule of law. Guess what? You're not going to know how to put things in proper perspective. See, he can go in very specific, then I can break it down and say, okay, based on this, this is how the law is supposed to operate, based on the application in which he's using. Now we can go back to the source of law under that Article 4, Section 2. We can reference and do findings of facts. We can show the treaty.
Section 3, King, Article 4, Section 3.
Section 3, I'm sorry. Section 3, Article 4, Section 3. We could go back and now we got the findings of facts that support our claim and our position, right? But without these principles, you can't do that. You're not going to know what to do. You're not going to be able to articulate it, right? And point out based on the principle that's being used in the contract, which is a treaty. And any provision in the treaty, right, that you can try to enforce. But if you don't understand these principles, how you going to run government? I want to see somebody tell me they're going to run government without knowing these principles.
All right, so what we have to do, so what they would have to do is show you, all right, so someone says that they can, all right, so let's say, well, it can be done, all right, so that means they have to show you where it's been done, where it's being done, like they get, all right, so, well, it can be done. Somebody makes a claim that it can be done. That means I close my mouth. Once somebody says it can be done, I won't say to them, no, it can't. I will give them the floor for them what? Not to show me what they're doing. Nah. Because no, they have to show me where that is in operation in the world. They have to show me, or they have to point to some country. They have to point to they have to point to go 1,000 years ago, 400, or current right now. They have to show me, right? You can't say it can be done, right? No, you have to show me that it's being done. You got to point to examples where it's being done in Japan or in China, in Burkina Faso, in South Africa, in Russia, in Germany, and they got to point to, yeah, here, all right, these are exhibits. These are exhibits, Abdullah. These are nation states that I'm pointing to where they don't use the rule of law. They don't use legal principles, Abdullah, to run the government. They got to point to, those will be your exhibits. Yeah. You can't show me no exhibits that you, because you haven't done it. I'm just using this logic. Show me where it's being done.
Or where it has been done.
Where it has been done. Where it's being done or where it has been done.
Right.
Has been done, that's the present perfect tense. And then, and where it's being done is the present progressive, where present progressive tense. Passive voice, present progressive tense, passive voice.
So now, since right, me and Abdullah then join forces, now we have the proper understanding. We have the proper knowledge. We have the proper legal repertoire. I would like to add, we have the verbiage, right? We have the articulation. Now we can be very specific because law is very specific. When we talk about application, it's very specific. When you're talking about a particular case or a particular situation or a particular person or a particular thing, because that's status. Status is your relationship to persons, places, or things. We're going to get very particular. We're going to use a strict scrutiny, right? And then we're going to identify all the elements necessary to prove our case. We're going to then lay down the findings of facts. We're going to show the substantive language. We're going to show the contract or the instrument that support our position to give us legal standing. Without knowing these principles, family, you're not going to do it. Either you know it or you don't. Sometimes you might get lucky and make an educated guess in your case. But I promise you, you ain't going to keep getting away with it. When you don't understand these principles, I can go into any area of law, taxes, I can break down just by principle. I don't got to know all the legal verbiage. I could go in there and deal with them just off of principle. I could just deal with them just off of the rule of law, due process, application of law, source of law, findings of facts, conclusion of law, because it's embedded into that area of law, tax law. It's not removed. I can go into any other area of law, real estate law. It's not removed. I can go into constitutional law. These principles are not removed. They're there. I can go in any area of law. Once you know these, understand these principles, this concept, this philosophy of thinking, you can take these principles and go any area of law and you will still have success. I don't have to know all the verbiage because I know once I read it, I'm going to look at the principles associated with what they're doing and to determine if they are in compliance because I know the rules. I understand the rule of law. I understand the application of law, right? The operation of law, the source. Where's your source? Show me the delegation of authority or the source of law which being used for you to operate in such capacity. Show it to me. Now I can use a subpoena ducas tecum and ask for them to show the delegation of authority through a certified record. It needs to be certified under the penalty of perjury to validate your claim. Because in order for you to have a claim, there got to be a person that can witness to your claim, either yourself or someone else. Then you must lay down the findings of facts. And then the law, you must look at the law and see if the law and the facts correlate. Do the facts support the law? Or do the law support the facts? Without knowing this, you can't break down no case. Without knowing this, you can't run no government. Without knowing this, you can't create a constitution. Without knowing this, you can't do nothing. You can't build a structure. You can't even build a brick in government. If you don't know these things and you can't be so specific, see, the thing about what me and Abdullah have, this is magical. See, for years, I've been working and learning these different things. Now I have a great dancing partner. Where I'm weak, he's strong. And where he's weak, I'm strong. This is a powerful dynamic, family. We understand how to go and get remedy. See, y'all could go in slavery, right? We're going to talk about slavery. We're going to talk about words, right? This is constructive language, right? Slavery, there is no remedy for slavery. There is no substantive language in law that supports slavery to get a remedy. You can't get it in international law or any domestic law in the United States. But if you say subjugation, genocide, how is it genocide? Keng El Bey, we lost our identity in totality. Every essence of being a Moor was buried. That is genocide to the fullest degree. You don't know your language, your culture. You can't practice none of your customs, your belief system. You've been stripped of every essence of your own identity. That's genocide. And then they gave you a false identity called Black, Negro, and Color. And we running around talking about Black power. Where's the power in being Black? Because you have no protection. Where's your treaty? Where's the Black folks treaty? We're Black African American treaties. Show it to me. Show me by finding some facts. And then I can show you there is no law. You have no protection. Show me the protection for Black people. Show me where Black people existed as a nation state. Show it. Show me its support in the world. Show me where it has what they were doing, that they were identified as Black, African American, Negroes, color. Show it to me. Now, we don't have to argue. We don't have to debate. All you have to do is support using the application of law, right? I'm going to say, okay, based on what you're saying, we're going to break this down. Based on the application of what you're going to say, now you're going to support it with the elements and show the findings of facts and the conclusion of law and show me your case. And prove it to me. See, this is how you break down and prove a claim, the supported claim. You got proof of a claim. Show it to me. I don't want to hear about what somebody said or what. Now you got to show. We from the show me state. We're gonna break this down, and you're gonna have to show it to me. And if you can't do that, then you need to go back and analyze what's going on with your case. So it's very important.
So Uncle, yeah.
Go ahead, Abdullah.
Yeah, let me read some points of rule of law, King, before you continue. Rule of law is like a golden thread in the Constitution, which ensures supremacy of law over the society.
Sorry.
But mute your phone, King. Mute your device. I'll reread that. Rule of law is like a golden thread in the rule of law is like a golden thread in the Constitution, which ensures supremacy of law over the society. Rule of law is the cardinal principle forming the basic structure for constitutional governance in a country. The prerequisites of the rule of law are to safeguard the fundamental liberties of humans in a free society, for establishing the people's legitimate aspirations and self-esteem. Rule of law symbolizes that law is supreme authority. Rule of law is sentinel of the voice of justice, operating at all stages of constitutional provisions. The rule of law creates a predictable environment for people and businesses. Rule of law ensures that fundamental rights are upheld. The rule of law means if the rights of the citizens and businesses are violated, they have access to justice before an independent and impartial court. So you've been elaborating on these points, King.
Okay.
You're muted, Everett.
So when we talk about the rule of law, it gives birth to due process. This is a guarantee, right? The rule of law is one of the bases for the operation of law, how law is supposed to look like. You have to be able to understand the rule of law in order to ensure the integrity of the process, to determine if the court guaranteed, because this is a guarantee, right? This is the rock in which the legal system is built on. So without the rule of law, you don't have a legal system. So in order to measure your case, right, these are things that need to be happening. This is what institute due process. Due process is a baby. Rule of law, birth due process. They just don't call it rule of law, but due process is a characteristic of the rule of law. And if you don't understand that, then you won't know what to look for. How could the court determine, if you go to an appeal court, determine that you had a fair and just trial based on the rule of law and the characteristics of due process? When it don't exist, then you don't have law. Let me say that again. When the rule of law don't exist, then you don't have law. You have something else. And guess what? The courts cannot identify it. It's unrecognizable in the eyes of the law. The court don't know what it is. So when you file an appeal, or when that is missing, because the Constitution guarantees due process, right? But nobody talks about the rule of law. Because the rule of law is a part of the whole system itself. It's the DNA. It's one of the DNA.
Here, as I read here, King, rule of law is like a golden thread in the Constitution, which ensures supremacy of law over society. Is like a golden thread. So that is a simile. That's a simile. When you use like or as, it's a simile. If you don't have like or as, it's a metaphor. But this is a simile.
Right.
The rule of law is like a golden thread in the Constitution, like a golden thread. So that means it's woven in all constitutional provisions. A golden thread. Not it doesn't read thread, a golden thread. So and they use golden, what does that mean? The value that it has, it holds. It's golden threads, doesn't read thread, golden thread. The rule of law, I'll read this one again, King. A rule of law is the cardinal principle, forming the basic structure for constitutional governance in a country. I just wanted to reread those because particularly those two are very impactful. So I want that to really sit on the people's brain.
So they just showing the importance of the rule of law. So if it's that important, it's the golden thread or a cardinal rule. If you remove that, then what do you have? This is why I'm saying, if you don't know these principles, you don't know how to run government, nor do you understand how to examine legal cases. If you do not embed yourself with this knowledge, you will not know how to do legal cases. Because the rule of law is the cardinal rule. It ain't saying it's a little bit of rule. It said it's the cardinal rule. So if it's not identified in the elements of a case, or if it's not identified in the legal system and it's removed, do you have law? This is the stuff that you must know, family. You must take heed to this information. There's a lot of us that's saying that we got government, we put a government together, we know how to do things on an international scale, on a domestic scale, but yet they're rooted in misconceptions. I haven't seen one person on the internet when we was on the Moorish Investigative Committee, Research Committee, ever took a case, analyzed it, broke it down, looked at all the different motions that was used, presented it as evidence, as exhibits and findings of facts, and get an outcome of a case that was a desirable outcome. Have you, Abdullah?
No, not the way you did as far as deep step by step and actually showing all the exhibits and even one of the transcripts were read and very detailed discussions, opening up for questions and answer. No, not to this not as comprehensive, because that was very comprehensive, you know.
It was based on what? These rules, these principles. I didn't leave. It was based on these principles. We just analyzed it and talked about it, discussed it, and Mike presented it in the court, and it fell in his favor based on his knowledge. It wasn't based on a fluke. He understood what was going on because we discussed it. We went over it. We talked about it. We went over everything and showed case step by step.
I mean, you can go to the Moroccan Post Media YouTube page. The Moroccan Post Media YouTube page. There's 7 educational sessions. The Moorish Investigative Research Committee. We had finding of facts and conclusion of law. We have what's Michael's case? It was that was done in 2 parts. Motion and pleading. What's the name of?
I don't remember everything.
Yeah, I'm trying me either, man. I got to. Can we get some help here? Can y'all put that in the chat? Can y'all put this on the Moroccan Post Media YouTube page? There's 7 educational sessions that were given, and I can't remember. One was the last one we did was on notarial process, affidavits, and notarial process. Right, presentment, notarial presentment.
Process.
Yeah, and presentment. All right, that was the last. That was session 7. That was done about a month ago, and then we did Michael's case in 2 parts.
Yeah. So without this, you can't do none of it. I don't know anyone without the knowledge that me and Abdullah have worked together to absorb. Without this knowledge, without knowing these specific treaties, not knowing the Moroccan, you got to understand this. We're giving out information that you don't even get in college. What me and Abdullah have presented to the people, you don't even get this in a college course. How he breaks down the treaties and he can reference everything to the Constitution, and he can break it down and with very specific details, and can identify how the United States is a trustee based on that information, right? No one has done that. I haven't heard no one break it down to.
No, not the way I do it. No,
I haven't heard it. Period.
I ain't no.
None. That comes from great detail and study. So then when I heard Abdullah, I said, man, this brother got a lot of knowledge. I wanted to be a part of that. I needed that aspect of it. And when he really realized what I brought to the table, he said, King, this was amazing. Because no one ever talks about the rule of law. Nobody ever talked about the stuff that I was talking about. The findings of facts and principles of law, source of law, application of law. Right? No one was talking about that. Operation of law. No one was talking about it in the Moorish community. No one was even touching these topics. And then when we came together, it was just explosive. Now we bringing it to the people, right, to help educate y'all, to show you how government is supposed to run, to show you the proper application that must be used to resurrect our mother, to show you how to think properly, analyzing your legal cases, to bring about proper concepts, not misconceptions. And now we can use the findings of facts to present this to the people and show you the very thing in which we're doing. And all I'm saying to you, we need the community to keep, as we continue to do this outreach, we need all the support we can get. Y'all need to jump over to the Moorish, what is it? The Moroccan International.
Yeah, the Moroccan Post Media YouTube page. The Moroccan Post Media YouTube page.
Y'all need to go over there in droves and listen and learn. These concepts is not something that I made up or Abdullah made up. The stuff that we're talking about, we didn't make it up. It pre-exists, it predates us. It pre-exists before we was even born. I didn't make up status correction. Hey, we're going to correct our status. Right? I'm going to sell you a nationality packet. Let me show you how to be a Moor. You're not a Moor already? That's under subjugation? Somebody going to sell you a packet and now you a Moor? You was born a Moor? Through your own consanguinity, Abdullah? Somebody gonna tell you, oh, you a Moor now. You got this packet. Look at your nationality credentials. I'm looking at myself in the mirror like, here's my credentials and my proof right here. I don't know how much more proof I need of being a Moor. I can look in the mirror and see that I'm a Moor. It's just funny how people, how people are, chasing this, this fallacy, this misconception after misconception. So you got something to say, Abdullah?
You want to talk about the upcoming course, King?
Of course.
Let's spend some time talking about the upcoming course. This on May 8th, 2020, Saturday, Saturday, March 8th, 2025. Begins the 12-week course, the contract, trust and contractual legal safeguards. Trust and contractual legal safeguards. It's a 12-week course. Will be 12 consecutive Saturdays beginning on March 8th, 2025. All right. You could go to the Moroccan Post School of Government Moroccan Post Advanced School Advanced Study Group Telegram page, For the Love of Moors Telegram page, for your one, the what's that, the state planning Telegram page, the Love of Moors, the Moors Investigative Research Committee Telegram page, other Telegram pages where we posted the 12-week the summary for each class. All right, there's a short summary and also advanced overall summary, as well as the links. The link is also on my Abdullah Bey Facebook page, the flyer and link, as well as on the Konos and Akwazi's Facebook page and Israel's Facebook page. And we'll continue to push it and promote it All right, and the summary. So you'll see it all over, and you'll every Moorish Monday we'll have that on here.
So I'm just trying to get everyone to understand, when you come to this class, it's very comprehensive. I'm gonna break down so many different aspects of contracts and trust. We're gonna teach you about the importance of a trust protector, why you need a trust protector, what is important. We're gonna talk about trust language, contractual safeguards. You got to remember, trust. Once you create a trust, right? Because it's all trust law. Technically, an LLC is really a particular form of trust, right? But it has to contract. Trust still has to contract. We're going to get into the law of agency, dealing with delegations of authority. We're going to talk about exhibits. We're going to break down all the different comprehensive components that's necessary and specific, right, to forming a trust. Then we're going to break down what kind of safeguards you need in your contracts, right? Severability clauses, right? Flee of jurisdiction clauses, right? Um, Also, waiver of rights, right? Things that you need to understand. Indemnity clauses, right? To create an indemnity bond associated with trust or beneficiaries, okay? These things are necessary to understand. They can be used and annexed as an exhibit when you're trying to establish a contractual relationship, because your status is going to determine the person, place, and thing in which you are in relationship with, and what is your rights dealing with that person, place, or thing. So, because we got to, when you come to this class, I'm gonna break down a lot of different elements to this so you can get it and learn, because there's so many misconceptions. Because a lot of people think, hey, Keng El Bey, I gotta trust. What do that mean? What do that mean? What do it mean? I gotta trust. Can your trust get pierced? Could I put somebody else's property in my trust? And do that person has the right to come in? It's just like I go in your house and steal everything out your house and put it in mine. Do I have the right to come in your house and take my stuff back? You can't. So when you understand a trust, right? You got to understand your relationship to property so that you don't put property that don't belong in your trust where a person can pierce the veil of it, because you don't understand what you're doing. And you don't know how to contract your right and safeguard your rights with contracts to ensure that you're not the one taking the blunt end of the force. So this course is going to cover a lot of different aspects in which will help you understand what a trust should look like, how the trustees is going to be identified, how trust property is going to be identified. So how do a trust register properly? A lot of y'all say, well, I got a trust. Okay, how's the property being identified? What is the identifying markers? What will ensure that the property can be identified? Is there a number? Is there a marking, a symbol, right? Is there a picture? What identifies the trust property that's separated to ensure that the trust property is protected, and the trust protector can pop out his head and say, wait a minute, that's property that belongs to the trust. He doesn't own it, the trust or that property. We need that property back. You can't have a trust and go out and injure other people and think that you're you're going to be safeguarded. That's not how it works. But you can make yourself, in many ways, protect yourself by understanding how to contract. Is there anything you want to add, Abdullah?
I like that. Protect yourself in many ways and learn how to contract. Yeah, this is a paid course. This is not a free course. The price is on the flyer. This is a paid course. This is a 12-week course and for 12 consecutive Saturdays. This is not a free course. We have the Eventbrite already set up. The link is on the Telegram pages that I mentioned, as well as my Facebook page, Abdullah Bey Facebook page. I'll post that. We post it. We post it on the various Telegram pages. We'll continue to talk about it. We'll do reels and put on my TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, as well as others for y'all to share as well. So we'll continue to push it. We got October, December, June. We got about 3.5 months. Almost 4 months. Little tick under 4 months.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So go and get and subscribe, and pay for the course. I guarantee you this will be a memorable course, right? To help individuals understand what a trust should, how to look at a trust, what's necessary to have a trust. You don't have to have a very sophisticated trust, because a lot of y'all don't know how to even operate a trust, let alone know law and even contract. Why would I set you up a very sophisticated process that you don't even know how to operate? You don't even have the basics, right? So you got a lot of people selling you these big old trusts, 100-page trust, 200-page trust, and you don't even know what it means to have all the stuff in the trust, right? So now you talking about Keng El Bey, I got this trust, I got these bonds, I got all of this stuff, but you don't know how to utilize anything that we're talking about, because you don't even have the concept of what a trust should do, how a trust should work, how it operate. And the crazy thing, the same principle, the rule of law, all of these things really still apply to the trust. You can take these same rules, these same principles, and apply it to the trust. You can't even do the trust without understanding the principles. This is why I'm just, when I look at and I see, the amount of people talking about things, right? And I get it. We're all trying to move forward, but we have to really, take a grasp of what I'm saying, because everything that I'm talking about, me and Abdullah talking about, you can go find. This is not a made-up process that we created. Status correction is a made-up process. I can't find status correction in law nowhere. Have you found status correction?
I've never seen that term in any language.
So I've never seen it. So when people say, man, I corrected my status, or they coin a term, show me in law, in history, where they was talking about status correction. Show me something that identifies the legal process of status correction.
And we must keep in mind that we are subjugated. All right. Let's clear this up. We've been approaching this from an individual perspective, not from the perspective of a people who belong to a state that's been collapsed due to Spanish, French, Portugal, Dutch, English conquest and colonization. So we're subjugated as a people. So we'll have, and I've heard this for 32 years. I've heard this for 32 years from conscious Moors. I'm free. Conscious Moors, this is conscious Moors. I'm free. Yet millions of our people are unconscious, but you're free. Millions of our people are unconscious. Our mother has not been revived, but you're free. Why you say you're free? I've been nationalized. The 32 years, I heard this for 32 years. I'm free. I got my nationality paperwork. I'm free. So millions of our people are still unconscious, but you're free because you got this, as you say, nationality paperwork. You're free. I'm just saying the concept is wrong. We're subjugated as a people. Our mother has been made. She's been placed in a comatose state for over 200 years. In international law, that is called a temporary extinction, collapse, dismemberment, disintegration of a state. So as long as our mother is in a comatose state, I mean our political structure has been dismantled, all of us are still subjugated. How is that the paperwork now takes you out of the subjugation? How? Please. All right. I want you to explain to me using international law. No, that's all. I want you, and if someone's going to explain something to me, you got to point to international law. You got to show me in international law. You have to show me, all right, Abdullah, 50, 70 years ago, Abdullah, this particular state X, they were invaded and subjugated, and the people were put under subjugation. Then you had individuals of them, put together some paperwork and say that they're free. And though 3 million of them remain, still subjugated, so you have to show me examples of that. You got to show me examples. No, you can't make something up. I'm not going to listen to anything you making up. I need you got to show me past. You got to go to the past. Go to international law and go to the past and say, boom, that, yeah, this is the case, Abdullah. We're subjugated. The native people of Hawaii are subjugated. This is our concepts have to grow. Our concepts have to become stronger. Our understanding has to become stronger. Is there anything else, King?
No, that's pretty much it.
All right. Can you see any questions? Can we fill any questions?
I don't see anything.
Don't say anything. No questions in the chat. Type your questions in. Type your questions in. Send your questions to dear Captain Noah. Send them now. All right, here we go. We got how to activate the God within. It's at Nuri Muhammad, Saturday, November 16th, 2024. Meet and greet, book signing, lecture from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Right on. So once again, throughout the night, my website has been scrolling along the screen, mooresandmasonry.org. Get your books. Get your books. Get your books. Moors and Masonry Part 1, Moors and Masonry Part 2, How Venus and Moon Rule, Etymology and Vocabulary. Etymology and Vocabulary Supplementary 1, Masonic Compass Square and the Connection of Mind, Measurement and Timekeeping. How Venus and Moon Rule. We also have our upcoming book, King. We want to talk about that. The DNA of the legal system. So King and I will be co-authoring a book. All right, we have a question. Boom! Boom! What is a revocable trust? We'll take this question.
Something revocable means something that can be revoked. So that means when you have a revocable trust, right? The trust, so you have an irrevocable trust, something that's set in stone that cannot be removed. Then you have a revocable trust where things in the trust can be revoked, right? So you got to understand how to utilize these things. So let's say you create an institution, right? That you delegate something through a trust. Under the trust can revoke its business license. It might have the power to revoke anything in the terms of conditions of contracts or within that trust, or you could create a revocable trust. You can have an irrevocable trust that creates a revocable trust, meaning if the trust is not following or adhering to the trust principles or the rules, right, then you can revoke certain privileges or certain rights, or I'm going to say certain privileges and benefits of that trust, right? And that's what you need to understand what a revocable trust is. It sounds exactly what it is, something that can be revoked.
The etymology, the VOC means call, and you have the prefix re means back, and able is the suffix, mean having the ability of being able to be uh, called back. All right. Send your questions to dear Captain Abdullah. Send them now. Type your questions in. This is questions time. We've done the presentation. We're gonna be filling questions. Questions? Going once? Going twice? 3 times, lady. No questions. All right. We'll give them another minute. All right. So once again, we have the book, King. Yeah, talk about the book. That's what we were about to do.
Okay, it's called it's called the legal principles, the DNA of the legal system, right? Written by yours truly, Keng El Bey, and Abdullah El Talib Mosey Bey. And we're putting this book together to help people understand the importance of the rule of law and these principles that's associated with this, so that you now can have a comprehensive study that can help you understand how to look at things by knowing these principles, now you can understand how to draft legal arguments, how to understand the Constitution, how to understand these different areas of law, because these things are rooted in every area of law. The law cannot escape this DNA, just like you can escape your DNA. So, with this book, we're going to break down a lot of different facets so that people can understand when they get it. This is be great for someone who's trying to really understand and get into this legal way of learning. This will be a comprehensive book to help you break some stuff down.
So that'll be available in the summer of 2025. Maybe sooner. But we're gonna,
Right, we're gonna put it together.
yes. And then we're also going to be bringing, we're going to have 6 months of, I think we're going to look at March of starting with the Moorish body politics study groups. And we're going to be, that goes with the Shem Malachi proposal and to the formation of a national Moorish governing structure. And so we'll be bringing the various study groups that will be forming into a body politic that will help, and we'll do that. We'll have actual 6 months. We'll meet once a month on the Zoom, and we'll do that for 6 months. And so there'll be education involved. There will be reports that'll be brought, where they'll be bringing forth their community outreach, facilitating, showing that that you're facilitating political legitimacy. All right. Population. All right. So we've already, that process has already begun, but we'll actually have the structure sessions for 6 months, and that will lead into the formation of the national Moorish governing body. And so we're looking around March. So we're looking at moving from the conference, the May 18th, 2024 Moorish Political Unity Conference, to the facilitation of the formation of the Moorish Imperial Parliament Council. All right. No questions. All right. I want to thank you, King, for joining me for the 8th to 9th, 10th time on this platform. We're going to probably, get you a monthly segment. We have El Kanan will be back the last Monday of this month. Brother El Kanan, he was on here 2 weeks ago. The 33rd degree, past Grandmaster, 33rd degree, 97th degree, Royal Arc, Shrine. On here monthly, but he already has 2 dates already been set. That's the last Monday of this month and the last Monday of December. Those 2 dates have already been set. All right, so I'm excited for that, and then we're going to have this King come on at least once a month. All right, so thank you for joining me. I always want to give a salute to Uncle Anki. They say, oh, brother Hank. Thank you, brother. I greatly appreciate you for opening up this platform for me. I'll be in my 1 year anniversary, first Monday in December. All right. Thank you again. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification button, like this video as well as others that's on this platform. Once again, we have the Moroccan Post Media YouTube page. Go to that page for the free courses there, and you'll see across my screen Moroccan Post, mooresandmasonry.org. Peace, everyone.